Kimberly Magic Academy is a place where 20% of the students cannot survive by the time they graduate. Just as the story begins, Oliver Horn was heading to school while talking to the Pride Plant. She was asking him if he was nervous, and she then told him to relax a little since today was the day of the entrance exam. She then told him that terrible future awaits him in the school. But Oliver thought that it's probably something they said to scare all the new kids. But the problem is that he wasn't sure. After all, it's not an ordinary school he is entering. Another student was scared when the Pride Plant told her that a terrible future awaits her in the school. But a guy told her not to worry about what the Pride Plant say, because Magiflora like them absorb magi particles from the ground, which affects their personalities, and that the ones around there are particularly nasty. Well, she loves magical fauna, including the little ones and the big ones. A girl in a samurai attire then walked past them. They've never seen one before, but something about her made Oliver stop and stare. Maybe it was her strange attire, or perhaps he felt something in his heart, something like a premonition, or what people sometimes call fate. They arrived at the academy. They were all excited, seeing a parade of magical fauna, and they had never seen something like that before. They also saw a dragon, Fafnir. Nothing else has scales that bright. The red-haired asked the girl he met before the reason why she wasn't happy, since he thought she liked magical fauna. Although she did, she was sad that they were making a troll walk in the parade like the other magical beast, which was wrong. The guy told her that it's a troll and they don't speak human language, and that the wild one attack people. That's why humans train them to serve their needs. She lashed out that it's because human invades their territory and that they're actually a kind creature. Another guy then told them to stop their argument since he's trying to focus on his reading. Oliver then told them that they should continue their argument later. A lady from the crowd then cast a spell at the girl's leg. She had no idea what was going on, and she immediately began to walk towards the parade involuntarily. It was as if her legs were moving on their own. Oliver and some students immediately rushed forward to help her. Since the troll was also moving in her direction, no one knew what was going on. Even the poor dogs that tried to attack the troll were killed within seconds. Just as she was about to hit the troll, the spell cast on her leg faded, and she fell down on the ground, as the troll was about attacking her. The samurai girl shouted vigorously, which made the troll halt his attack. She stood in front of the troll, and she decided to protect the girl on the ground. She then brought out her sword and decided to attack it. The other student then decided to attract the troll attention. The first spell to Nitris she cast wasn't able to give it any damage. As they were about to attack together, Oliver told them to wait since they're not strong enough to just fling spell at it. He came up with a plan. He told them that they would bring together a strong wind magic. They should attack since there is no time. They all agreed to his plan. They all cast their wind magic directly over the troll's head. Oliver then added a spell to the wind magic, and he created a dragon voice. It was just a loud noise that he changed to sound like a dragon's roar. But even a fake dragon is still a dragon, and if the troll senses a predator, it won't be able to attack anymore. The samurai girl then jumped forward to attack the troll. During the process, her hair changed into an innocent color, and she was able to knock it down with one strike of her sword. Since the troll's was sturdy, she felt as though she washed her hands in lighting. She then told the girl on the ground that she would carry her out as soon as the numbness on her hands wear off. She also thanked Oliver and others for their help because they gave her the perfect opening for an attack. She also praised Oliver's dragon roar, which was intense since she'd have wet herself before the entrance exam. They finally arrived at the entrance hall. Oliver was talking to the samurai girl. When she stood in front of the troll, she didn't have any plans in mind at all. Even her katana doesn't even have any blade on it. Oliver told her it was a reckless move, because if their spell had failed, she'd have died. Well, it's true. Since it's her first day at school and someone has already saved her life, she interpreted it as a good omen. Oliver doesn't really understand her, but the color of her hair back then, the innocent color, named for the crystal-like hair through which magic particles easily flows. It also signifies powerful mana circulation within the body itself, which means she possessed great potential as a mage. The head mistress Esmeralda of the school arrived. She first apologized for the incident at the parade, and the troll that went out of control had already been recaptured, and the injured student has been treated. She told the students that Kimberly Magic Academy is a house of learning where the students will spend the next 7 years. And the school prioritizes two things, which are freedom and results. To put it as simply as she could, their life and death are on their own hands. It wasn't a mere metaphor, because only 80% of students makes it out of Kimberly intact. The other 20% are permanently crippled. When their magic goes out of control or goes missing, when something they summon drags them back with it, or die after going mad and attempting to slay their fellow students. In the world of magic, those kind of individuals are said to be consumed by the spell. But that's what it means to learn magic. And that's how others have made it to where they are today, by paving their roads with the corpse of the dead. She said it again, that their life and death are on their own hands, but they should leave something behind when they die. When a tiger dies, it leaves behind a pelt. She then told them to become tigers, or there would be nothing left for them here. After the speech, it was the welcome banquet, and they're now free to talk among themselves and eat and drink as they like. She then cast a spell, and the students were all floating mid-air. Suddenly, they were transferred to the dining hall. They started exchanging names. The first was Michaela McFarlane, the eldest daughter of the McFarlane family, a dignified and proud clan that's lived in southern Yogland since ancient times. The other girl is Kate Alto. She's an exchange student from Farnland, a Union country in the north. She likes all kinds of animals. She then thanked others for saving her. The red-haired guy is from a family of farmers with a fairly long history, and he's pretty confident in his knowledge of plants. The other guy is Pete Reston. Both his parents are non-magical. His family has no history, that's to say, he enrolled as an ordinary. It's very tough to get one of those slots. The main character is Oliver Horn. His family's been magical since his grandfather days. But right now, he's living with his relatives. He has a brother and a sister who are older students at the academy. Ayla was quite surprised at Oliver's dragon voice, since she have never seen anyone use a flute spell like that. But Oliver is good at customizing spells and coming up with new ways to use them. The last girl was born to a samurai family in Torakaizen, Yamatsukuni, and her name is Nanao Hibiya. It was a strange twist of fate that brought her to the academy. She was about to be killed in a war when a passing mage saved her, and that person is Michaela's father. He's a part-time teacher in Kimberly. Since she's not from a magic family, she was supposed to take an entrance exam, but she didn't. Since Kimberly's teachers each have the ability to recommend one student each, they all began to eat. Nanao, who was from the wild, almost ate the roast beef that was meant for 6 people. She definitely did not understand how meals are eaten in the academy, so Oliver decided to share the meal, and they all decided to teach her proper table manners. It was morning. Oliver woke up, and he decided to head out for a walk. He then heard a female voice, and she asked him why he was out late. He told her that he just wanted to take a look at the school while it's still quiet. She told him not to worry about her identity because she's a covert operative sent by his brother Gwen, and she was asked to watch over him until he settles in. He's worried about Oliver's safety. That's why he sent a covert operative. Her name is Teresa Karst. She then told him to call for her whenever he needed her, and she left. As he was walking, he saw Nanao taking a bath out in the open. He immediately rushed and created a barrier to cover her. He told her not to bathe there since it's a plain view of the men's dorm. But she told him that she's purifying herself and not bathing, and that it only felt right to purify the blood she bathed in during the last war. Oliver then gave her his clothes to cover herself after she finished purifying her body.